Guys, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is literally at our doorstep, and I'm so freaking excited to just... I want to play it so bad. Anyway, since y'all liked my last video on the best levels in every world in Super Mario 3D World, I've decided to do another one, but this time on the worst levels in the game. That's right, the levels I think are either the bane of my existence or just simply boring to play on. However, if you guys did miss out on my best levels video though, be sure to check out the card right now if you want. If not, well, then I hope you enjoy today's video. Alrighty, so this one isn't much of a surprise, and if you don't know this one, well, I don't really know what to tell you. Super Bell Hill is the tutorial level in Super Mario 3D World. Enemies here are feasible, and there's tons of space to move around. It's honestly hard to die, especially since the level gives you tons of cat bills, and it's very straightforward, and you can just zoom past that final portion with a Mega Mushroom. Fun fact though, it actually reminds me a lot of New Super Mario Bros. With, again, 1-1 using the Mega Mushroom in that, second half of the level. So I guess it's a pretty good nod. But overall, nothing else to say other than it not looking as nice as Koopa Troopa Cave, or as fun as riding Plessie or climbing Mount Beanpole. Therefore, easily, Super Bell Hill, the worst one in World 1. Now, originally I was going to put Really Rolling Hills as the worst level for World 2, but after replaying this specific level a good amount of times, I'm going to have to say that this is actually the worst level. World 2-2 PUFFPROD Peaks is personally not my favorite here. Now, don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful and has a really cool concept, but I just find the level rather annoying than fun because it's just way too gimmicky with those touch controls. If they remove that aspect, maybe just pressing on a button to move those sparkly platforms, it wouldn't be so annoying. Like, this part right here could have been more interesting if you were just able to toggle these blocks instead of letting go of the controls and tapping the screen, then going back to gripping the controller and then moving, then tapping again, then going back again. Yeah, you get the point. Overall, it's a nice concept, and I get it. Nintendo wanted to show off what the Wii U was capable of for this game, but I found it more of a nuisance than anything. However, I will say screaming at the gamepad to move these platforms is rather funny, so I'll give it that. As I mentioned in my best levels video, World 3, in my opinion, has pretty solid levels. Unfortunately, we're going to have to choose one from the pack, so yeah. Pretty Plaza Panic is relatively short, and I did find it a bit of a hassle to play it 2 to 3 times because of the shortened time period to gather all the collectibles, and having to play as Peach to get one of them. But you know, I'm dumb. I learned to appreciate the level a lot more now because, well, it's designed to make you panic. So after I looked past that fact, I came to a conclusion that I just like Chainlink Charge the least. It's honestly really slow as it's a side-scroller, and we already know how OP the Katsu can be, so I found this one really boring because of how easy the obstacles were for me to avoid. However, it may not be too easy for some if you haven't mastered the cat mechanic, but since this is World 3 we're talking about here, you should already be accustomed to it already. So yeah, pretty much this is the slowpoke level of Super Mario 3D World, which honestly makes me go... And now we head on over to World 4, home of levels such as Big Bounce Byway, Ant Trooper Hill, and Spike's Lost City. Now that I've given you 3 random levels, can you guess which one here is my least favorite? If you guessed Ant Trooper Hill, well, you're wrong. I actually don't like Spike's Lost City as much. Yes, I know it's pretty cool to roam around in, but bruh. I just feel like I'm in a circus mirror maze or something because everything just blends in together. You got the ruins that I feel like every single corner is the same, and you got them family of spikes trying to murder you. That's pretty much the main idea here. And if you take out the cool platforming that spawns here and there, the whole thing isn't really that fun. Sorry, Spike, you're a really cool enemy, but your level kinda stinky, and it doesn't do a good job utilizing the bigger space. Now, to continue this trend of not utilizing space, World 5 is gonna have to go to 5-4 Sprawling Savannah. This may be a shocking pick for some of you right now, as I know so many people like this course, but I just don't see it. It's a really nice looking level with the sunset and the contrasted colors, but just like Spike's Lost City, it does a really good job taking advantage of its bigger design. I think more people are just hung up to the fact that it's big and you can roam around, but if you really think about it, what's the point? This part could have easily been smaller in my opinion and would have been the exact same experience. There's just not too many secrets here to unveil. I feel like Nintendo could have made multiple routes with such a big playing field that could have made this experience a lot more memorable. Because to me, when I think of Sprawling Savannah, I just think big. That's it. Nothing else. Getting to our last numerical set of levels, here we enter not Typhoon Flurries, nor Bullet Bill Chase, but freaking Fuzzy Time Mine. 6-7 is kinda like Chainlink Charge in World 3, but just slightly harder. It's another really slow side-scroller, well, in this case I guess up-scroller, and the main objective here is to just avoid all the fuzzy from annihilating you. I think the hardest part here is just really timing your jumps on these platforms, because you can actually die from getting squished, but other than that, it's honestly a breeze. I personally find Floating Fuzzy Time Mine a lot better, as it's the harder version of this one, where you're a lot more pressed on time, trying to get the collectibles, spikes on the ground, and I think the moving blocks are a bit faster, but yeah, the original is just way too easy for World 6, and just isn't as memorable as its other more superior variant. Now, World Castle is infamous for its many fiery levels, such as Simmering Lava Lake and Boiling Blue Bully Belt. So now that we have that all cleared out of the way, what the heck is this? RAMMERHEAD Reefs is by far the least enjoyable out of the bunch of levels presented in this world. First of all, it's a water level, so it's already hella weird to include it, but that's not even the main point here. Continuing our idea of slow, we have to constantly avoid these, I guess, Rammerheads that are trying to ram you over as you swim across the level. They are everywhere. Nintendo decided to spawn all of these in this specific level, every corner and every path. So basically you play the waiting game here if you don't want to get hit by them at all. And that to me is a major turnoff to this level. It's a water level that's already slow, and making it even slower with these guys, bruh. End my life already, dude. Even at the flagpole, oh my gosh. Just get out of here, will ya? Alright, so World Bowser was really rough to decide on too, because so many of them are very unique from one another. Spiky Spike Bridge has you become like Solid Snake, so you don't want to get caught inside spotlights, and you gotta constantly avoid those spikes in the floor. Footline Lane has you ride those invisible pathways while avoiding bullet bills and such, and Beam in the Dark tests your skills and not getting hit by anything, as you need to keep your flashlight to get certain collectibles. So I decided that PLESSIE'S DUNE-DOWN is the least exciting out of the bunch here. It reminds me a lot of Princess Peach's Slide in Super Mario 64, but the experience falls short as it's a very short level with not too many challenges. And let me just say that Deep Water Dungeon already includes a Plessie section, so playing the DUNE-DOWN version kinda just makes me feel like this is more of a filler than anything, and it's like kinda redundant to have two Plessies in one level, so yeah, this one's gonna have to go down. Moving on, World Star is another world with really solid courses with really cool concepts, such as the Great Goal Pole and Rolling Ride Run. So coming up with the worst level here is almost impossible, but of course I had to pick one. So after playing this world like several times to figure this shit out, I came to a conclusion that PEEPA'S Fog Bog has to be the worst. Most of the level is literally at the beginning. It's a puzzle-like section where you gotta figure out how to collect all 5 key coins, and some examples of these puzzles are finding the right door so you can get to the balcony key coin, and another is defeating ghosts by Toad by finding a hidden star power-up somewhere. After that, the fun pretty much goes downhill. Here we have a bit more of a generic linear section where the hardest part is not falling off because of the fog, but if you go a little bit slow, it's honestly pretty much still a breeze. However, I will say getting that green star inside of that mystery box was a bit confusing at first. I'll give Nintendo credit for actually making me think here. Second to last on this list is easily Deep Black Jungle Drift. Even with the lights off, it's not even hard to avoid the several kinds of ghosts here. The collectibles aren't too shabby either, as Nintendo made them pretty easy to find. But what always gets me here is when the raft goes down this steep ramp, I'm just like, that's it? Seriously, your journey pretty much ends here. The only thing left is finding that last green star, and that can be obtained by just being a little patient at the end of the path. Defeating those boos should be pretty easy if you still have your flashlight, which is again, pretty easy to do, and you jump and get it. And there you have it, again, a pretty easy, yet forgettable level in my opinion. And lastly, we arrive at World Flower, home to the most difficult levels in Super Mario 3D World. What's really great here is that most of these levels balance difficulty and fun, but the keyword here is most, not all. Therefore, the one I'm speaking of that's difficult and not particularly enjoyable to me is Faster Fort Fire Bros. Try saying that one 5 times fast. Faster Fort Fire Bros, Faster Fort Fire Bros, Faster Fort Fire. Wow, I'm an idiot. Anyway, this reminds me a lot of those Speedy Comet missions in Galaxy, but basically on steroids because you literally need to keep getting time every like few seconds. Now, it isn't the most difficult course if you're well prepared, like if you keep your fire flowers or boomerang or something, but if you don't have anything, this level can be your worst nightmare. If you don't have anything, it's pretty much impossible to beat the Fire Bros on top of the Goombas, unless they decide to come down, which also, by the way, takes time, so you're pretty much screwed. Also, this green star is hella annoying to get. Not only is it not visible in sight, but these stupid blocks are put in such a dumb place and takes so much of your time. So, to conclude, Flower Dash 4 never fails to give me hella anxiety, and it doesn't even try to make up for this in the fun department. And now, I come to you guys. What do you think are the worst levels in each world in Super Mario 3D World? Comment down below. I read pretty much every comment, so feel free to start a conversation with me. Anyway, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is going to be an incredible enhanced port, and I just want to quickly advertise that I'll be streaming the game on my Twitch channel this Friday. Follow my Twitter, join my Discord, and subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up to date on future streams, and if you're interested in watching Mario-related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, my duders.